2010, the name Shaun White and the phrase double cork became commonplace in households across the globe, with worldwide TV ratings of men's halfpipe outdoing every other Olympic sport. While the Olympic limelight happens every 4 years, the platform for progression and event organizations exists year in, year out through the Swatch TTR World Snowboard Tour. TTR is creating stars, awarding style, and providing a safe, progressive platform for both rookies and pros alike, with past champs including Mathieu Crepel, Cheryl Moss, Jamie Anderson, Eni Rukavari, Kelly Clark, Kevin Pearce, Torah Bright, Shaun White, and last year's champion, Petu Pirinen. All Olympic medalists have risen through TTR on the most respected platform pushing freestyle snowboarding. While TV ratings have increased the sport's awareness, the stars and faces of mainstream snowboarding have first and foremost flourished within the TTR.
One big happy family, basically. You know, it's not about where you're from, if you're from US or Europe or wherever, Japan. It's just snowboarding and having a good time.
Whew, I'm happy, man. Great day, great day.
We're in NYC snowboarding, it's crazy.
I feel like she's gonna slap me, that's why. Ow, bitch! Maybe.
And I jump and I clip my toe edge. What the hell am I doing?
It feels really good just to be back on my board, because I've been injured like at the Ernstall in December, and I just get back like I've been riding for a week, and then it was my first scrum of the year, kind of. My runs went well, and then I get a podium, so I'm super stoked, you know.
And after today, it's just, I've never ever in my life, and I'm probably gonna tell my kids that like 50 million times when I get old, that I went up to podium 3 times in one day. You know, it's just, what can I say? It's just amazing.
I mean, look at this. Look at how much interest from not just snowboard industry, just everybody's just freaking out.
I mean, this sport never ceases to amaze anybody, and me especially. I mean, I just, you know, this year the whole Olympics deal, and I don't know, there must be something inherent in the sport of snowboarding or just surfing down a mountain that's pretty cool, because it just keeps going.
Snowboarding has come a long way in a very short period of time. Compared to the opportunities available 40 years ago at its inception, the 2010-2011 season and the young sport of snowboarding now offers the riders involved numerous opportunities for travel, sponsorship, and worldwide fame. Which leaves one question: how did this all start? Although skiing has been seen in rock carvings from the Arctic Circle dating back to almost 2000 BC, primitive types of snowboarding have been seen as far back as the 1800s. While it's impossible to say who truly invented the snowboard, the first commercially manufactured board rose out of a cold Michigan Christmas day in 1965. Sherman Popin, an inventor and chemical gas engineer, bound 2 skis together and lashed a string to the tips for the neighborhood children. Unknowingly, Popin created the roots of what has now become snowboarding. Come the mid-1970s, creativity spread and modified versions of the snurfer emerged all over America. Although never taken seriously, the innovators of the sport eagerly tested materials, designs, and technology. Chuck Barfoot and Tom Sims on the West Coast, And out east, Dmitry Milovich and Jake Burton Carpenter. Motivation to perfect the board skyrocketed, and progression was unstoppable. With the arrival of the 80s, snowboarding took off and evolved in every direction. New features such as half-pipes and quarter-pipes were pioneered. Open division and multiple format contests thrived. Yet some still believed free riding was the soul of the sport, the everlasting quest for powder and progression of freestyle snowboarding. Legends such as Craig Kelly and Terry Kidwell pushed the sport through to the 90s.
I'm Terry Kidwell and started snowboarding in 1977. Basically, we found this ditch in the summertime and we went there in the winter after we got a little snow, and we built a couple kickers off the end, and it was one of the first quarter pipes in snowboarding. And we were trying to put our skateboard skills onto the snow and kind of make snowboarding a little more of a skateboard style.
I think the future for the sport is great. I think you're going to see, bigger air. It gets bigger every year. Bigger pipes at ski areas, better grooming, better videos, definitely. I'd like to see the sport really continue to grow because I'd like to ride with more people and have more friends into it. I don't want to lose its edge at all.
Snowboarding was now a lifestyle and a revolution among the youth. With fluorescent outerwear, rounded tail snowboard designs, and plenty of rebellious motivation to progress the sport, young Norwegian Terje Håkansson emerged onto the scene and quickly grabbed hold of public eye.
How many years have you been riding for?
I've been riding 3 years.
How did you start snowboarding?
I bought a board.
You bought a board? Okay, how much training do you do?
I don't know.
What do you think of the attitude of snowboarders in general?
I don't know.
Is there anything you know?
No.
Did you go to school?
No.
What's your goal?
Get a car.
You got a car? That's your goal? Alright. Where do you think the sport's gonna go?
It's gonna go far.
It's gonna go far?
Earning 2 consecutive titles in the ISF World Championships and pushing the sport's limits to the edge, Terje Håkansson had now become the most influential snowboarder in history. Although the sport branched off in every direction, core freestyle, alpine, hard boots, high backs, slalom, fists, magazines, videos, everyone respected Terje and what he was doing for the sport. The late 90s saw progression on all fronts. Board designs were perfected, ski resorts finally allowed snowboarding, and riders were creating and organizing events across the globe. The industry was thriving, and in 1996, word spread of the sport's acceptance and debut in the Olympic lineup for the 1998 Nagano Games. What followed, however, sent shockwaves through the industry.
The ISF kind of fell in the hole, was trying to do too many competitions. Suddenly there's some ski federation also started to do competition, kind of same format. And then suddenly snowboarding is an Olympic sport. Why the FIS and the ski guys are buddies with the IOC. So they go like, yeah, you can arrange the snowboarding event in the Olympics. Not the core snowboarders that really love what they're doing. So that's like, okay, why this? Why now?
When the wave of uproar fell into his hands, his next decision would see him hit legendary status. Defending the sport he had come to rule, Terje Håkansson stood up and declared he would not compete in the Olympic Games.
I'm not blaming FIS for everything, but it's pretty rude what they've done.
It was not a boycott, but a personal attitude. In his eyes, the 1998 Nagano Olympics were far from a milestone for the progression of snowboarding. With or without the favorite gold medalist, the 1998 Nagano Olympics awarded the first ever Olympic gold medal to Switzerland's Gian Simon. Snowboarding was forever changed. Although halfpipe riding now had mainstream media coverage and worldwide acceptance, it wasn't until the following year that the sport took a huge step in progression. Terrier hosted a contest that would set the benchmark and influence all future rider-driven events.
I think everybody's just stoked to be here because it's such an easy-going format. You know, we have time. You know, if it was not sunny every day, you know, we would try to wait for that sunny day.
Everybody should just ride the whole time. Just keep everybody together and just jam.
We wanted to present the sport the way we see how it could be, you know, on the highest level, you know.
Held at the end of the winter season, the Arctic Challenge quickly earned itself the reputation as being a prestigious and exclusive event that showcased the sports at the utmost level. Every rider wanted to go to the Arctic Challenge, and that demand quickly set the wheels in motion. Event organizers worldwide came together. The first concept of earning yourself a ticket to ride was born.
We made a list of events that we thought, yeah, let's have these guys qualify into the Arctic Challenge, and Terrier said yes to like several events, and I think that was one of the main points how we actually managed to gather those events that we thought were on a creative level and good enough to join a new concept. Then people like Drew Stevenson and everyone was talking about something, and all of a sudden the TTR was born, and from there we went, and the rest was history.
The coalition of TTR reaches Terrier with a solid philosophy, rider-driven, genuine snowboard values, and focus on progression. Terrier and the Arctic Challenge hosted the culmination of the season. 9 great snowboard events around the world, all earning riders a ticket to ride the respected Arctic Challenge. With the industry leaders now working together for the greater good of snowboarding, the Ticket to Ride World Snowboard Tour gained momentum, working with different events, formats, and ideas.
In such a new sport, and when the level is rising, you need to experiment.
After 2 years of development, the launch of the Swatch TTR World Tour ranking list on December 5th, 2005, resulted in the crowning of the first ever TTR World Tour champions. Matthew Krapell and Cheryl Moss wrote their name in the history books.
Yeah, actually, I'm for sure pretty stoked to be the first ever World TTR Tour champion.
I'm super stoked to be the first one to get that title and to grab it, and I'll have it forever, so I'm super stoked on it.
I think this tour is just what the sport needs. It legitimizes the sport and you and myself as an athlete, and I'm just so excited that, you know, I can be the TTR World Tour champion.
It's crazy, you know. 4 or 5 years ago, nobody even knew what the TTR World Tour was, and now it's turned into this. And for me to be able to come home and to Vermont and win it is just, you know, something I've always dreamed of happening.
One of my most memorable snowboard contests / whatever would probably be TTR of 708. I won.
And this is a huge honor for me to add this to my collection. You know, it's just kind of just completes, you know, one aspect of something you can accomplish in snowboarding. So today's a big day.
And history, like first guy who has won the title 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me in the sense that it's an accumulation of a bunch of events, and instead of just one day. I mean, you can go to an event and win, and it just, you know, that's great for that one day, but it doesn't really prove you as a rider. I mean, that's why everybody puts so much on the Olympics and all that stuff, and it's just one day, you know what I'm saying? And to become a winner of a tour like this, it means so much more because you're on it every single event. You mean you've across the board, you know, won within points and all that. I think it means a lot more to me than just one-off event.
Gold medalist Shaun White began his lead up to the Olympic Games at the first 5-star event of the 2009-2010 TTR season. The Burton New Zealand Open would make its mark in the history books. Unveiling 2 double corks in one run, Shaun set the benchmark of what was to come.
It was the wildest event I've ever been to.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to have the practice I've been doing paying off, and yeah, I'm just in awe, man. It was a wild event. You see that?
It's kind of scary out there. Risking my life every time I drop in.
I gotta, you know, derail my bank account and get an airbag or something and like one pipe fall.
Well, really, I don't know. He just came like a bomb.
Want to know how to snowboard? This is how to do it right here with a back 10 late cork.
When I won, I couldn't believe it again. As I said, like still figuring it's a dream, and I'm waiting to wake up.
Stoked about that. I got the double cork in pipe first time in the run, so.
All I hear is like she's like winning Roxy Chicken Jam, Euro Open, this, that. I'm like, oh snap, we got a new chick in the mix. I'm gonna have to step up my game.
The 19-year-old from Finland, coming out of nowhere, surprised fellow competitors, winning the Burton European Open, Roxy Chicken Jam, Canadian Open, and a fourth at the US Open was enough for Annie to win the 2009-2010 World Tour title. On the men's side, Switzerland's Yuri Podlachikov and Petty Pirinen battled it out all season.
So I got like 4 results so far, and they're all 6-star, and they're all top 10. So I'm looking pretty good, I'd say. As a rider, Peter was just amazing. I mean, he progressed so fast as soon as all this happened, like new tricks, and it's like 1 week later, Petu has it.
Petu proved to be too strong in all formats. With a second place at the Billabong Air in Style, 2 third places at the O'Neill Evolution, a first place in both slopestyle and halfpipe at the Burton European Open, and with the win at the prestigious Oakley Arctic Challenge, he secured his second TTR title 1 event before the US Open.
Yeah, maybe he's an alien. I don't know, but he's probably the best all-around contest rider right now. And
2010 Slots TTR World Tour Snowboard Champion, the first rider ever to win 2 TTR titles. I give to you, Petu Pirinen.
With Petu winning back-to-back titles and snowboarding being pushed to an uncomprehendable level, the TTR realized they must also progress as the sport continually evolves. And with the launch of the snowboarding live scoring system at the Oakley Arctic Challenge slopestyle last winter, TTR has taken another step forward in rewarding progressive and creative riding.
We're always working on trying to understand how we can keep up with progression, so it's an evolutive process. There's been a lot of roundtables with riders, and with Terrier and the Arctic Challenge, we've really experimented a lot.
Before the introduction of the live scoring system, the average 5 judges awarding an overall impression made up the rider's final score.
They've always had a summary at the end, and then they've gone up and done another run. You know, it's been very difficult for them to analyse them against their other competitors.
In an effort to break down barriers posed by the current overall impression system and improve the presentation and understanding of competitive freestyle snowboarding as a whole, a tight partnership between TTR, the World Snowboard Federation, the events, judges, and riders, the live scoring system was developed as a completely new way to judge snowboarding.
What's happening here is basically we're breaking down the runs. We're giving not only the rider, but the spectator and the viewer in a live TV show the opportunity to understand what the rider's doing as he progresses through his run, be it on a slopestyle or be it in a halfpipe. Every time he does a trick, there's a score. The amount of tricks he does accumulates to a summary of scores, and then there is an additional judge that judges the entire flow and connects the dots, or if you will, connects the scores. So it's a very transparent, very detailed way of explaining to the rider, the spectator, and the TV viewers what's going on as the rider completes his run.
The new live scoring system is more transparent and allows everyone to clearly see how judges give points by scoring each trick individually in a rider's run. Each trick score is added up to generate a total trick score that is then combined with the total flow score, which makes up the final score for a rider's run.
Very happy about the new judging system actually, because you get to use all judges to their full potential. You know, they're focused on their one hit they need to judge, and then it's all added, and somehow it is more accurate, I think, and more precise.
Rewarding good snowboarding for good snowboarding and rewarding for quality, not necessarily quantity. Definitely snowboarding's a fluid sport and we always adapt, and I think that even this system will adapt as snowboarding moves on in the future.
It's just mind-blowing. We've never really had anything like that in snowboarding, and it's really exciting. It's young, it's progressing, it'll evolve. It's not perfect, but it's a great step forward, and it's really supportive of where snowboarding is today. So I think that's the most important part of it.
Along with the new SLS judging system, the TTR World Snowboard Trophy has also evolved over the years. And in February 2010, Swatch and TTR initiated the Art Rules project, celebrating the connection between sports, art, and youth culture.
Trophy needs to be a piece of art that has like a community feel to it, and also like the sport, the art, the design, all these aspects have to be integrated into one piece of work.
I think it's a very contemporary approach to a trophy, because the trophy itself, it's a very archaic thing, yeah, but I think the design is very cool.
German course artist Mark Landwehr handcrafted the new prestigious trophy, and its white canvas opened up the opportunity for 1,700 people worldwide to enter the Art Rules project. The jury consisted of the Swatch president Arlette Elsa Imsch, Terje Håkansson, Reto Lam, the artist Mark Landwehr, and Pascal Johansson, the founder of Illustrated Berlin.
Well, I think it's very interesting to put a jury together where there's someone from the art scene, someone from the sport, someone who's coming from both sides, and I think it's a very fair jury at the end to judge what could be the best design for a trophy like this.
The one design that stood out above the others due to its simplicity and controversial idea was that of Axel Dorado from Lausanne, Switzerland.
And I think a trophy should show the emotion of the winner. It should show this emotion which is probably inside of this young guy or girl which has won the trophy.
Mark Landwehr's core statue, with its brand new design, will symbolize the creative and progressive element of the Swatch TTR World Snowboard Tour and the journey of the world's best snowboarders pushing the progress of the sport.
So stoked to start the 2010-2011 TTR season.
The adventure has already begun for another exciting season. The 2010-2011 season is setting up to be one of the biggest to date, with 2 events already showcasing that the level of riding in all elements of the sport is continually progressing from one TTR event to the next. The Billabong Ante-Up held on the Whistler Glacier back in June 2010 saw 5 of the 12 finalists performing double corks over a massive 75-foot gap.
Man, that was epic final. Like 5 double corks, 12. Everybody was going for it, man. It was crazy.
It wasn't only Big Air that has set the standards so far this year. The Burton New Zealand Open, a 5-star event that took place in August, showcased that halfpipe riding is still reaching new levels. The remainder of the event lineup for the 2010-2011 season sees 16 of the world's best riders arriving December 4th in China. Oakley and Shaun White present Air and Style Beijing 2010. From China, the tour heads to Switzerland for 2 6-star events. The O'Neill Evolution, followed by the Burton European Open. From the slopes back to Austria's Innsbruck Stadium, where a crowd of 18,000 will witness the world's best, the Billabong Air and Style. From Europe to Canada, Calgary's Olympic Park plays host to the Burton Canadian Open. By early February, the tour is back in Switzerland for the 5-star Nescafé Champs. We head north to Oslo, Norway for the 6-star Oakley Arctic Challenge. Next stop, Livigno, Italy for the Bern River Jump. Come March 7th, the TTR World Snowboard Tour lands in Stratton, Vermont, USA for the final event of the season. The men and women will battle it out for the last points on offer, and after 10 months, both TTR World Tour champions will be crowned. Can Annie Rukkavari and Petu Pirinen win another, or will others challenge them for the prestigious title?
Kind of my plan to challenge Petu one more time. Hopefully not let him win that early. No, I'm not gonna let him win that easy. Not gonna let him win at all. Petu, watch out.
The Swatch TTR World Snowboard Tour boasts 150 key independent events rated on a 1 through 6 star system. 4,500 riders from more than 25 countries battle 10 long months for a prize purse totaling $2 million and strive for world ranking recognition. Only the best competitive freestyle rider is awarded the Swatch TTR Snowboard World Champion title. Enjoy your ticket to ride.